Welcome to BVU Theater Remembers, the wit and wisdom of Shakespeare in replay. I'm Bethany Larson.
And I'm David Walker. To commemorate Buena Vista Theater's department as it comes to an end, we're showing a series of BVU past productions of Shakespeare, accompanied by recent clips of theater alumni performing Shakespeare's monologues and sharing some of their fond memories of the time in the department.
One of these monologue stars, Jacob Amhoff, who is performing a scene from Midsummer Night's Dream.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended. That you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. And this week an idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentiles, do not reprehend. If you parting, we will mend. And as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned luck, now to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Mwah! Give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
Thank you, Jacob. This week, we bring you the 2017 production of The Tempest.
The Tempest was fun because originally it was designed as an outdoor production. We were going to do it outside on the hill where the arch is at.
Right.
And we were expecting really good, because the moon was not coming, or the sun was going down, but we got smacked the week of the production by like an Arctic blast, and it dropped the temperatures in the evening down to like 40 degrees, and we couldn't do it outside because it was too cold. So we had to bring the production inside.
But see, I remember when you were rehearsing, the gnats were horrible.
Yeah, it
was hard to rehearse it.
Yeah, there was other challenges along with it, but yeah, that one was a lot. That was really interesting, being outdoors and having that blocked that way, and then having to literally rush inside and then figure out that we had like 2 rehearsals to get it right inside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Now it's time to dive into the world of Prospero and Miranda in BVU Theater's 2017 production of The Tempest.
Back in the day when Shakespeare was living, his audiences were certainly less than forgiving. We therefore entreat you to lend us a hand and listen quite closely for how we began. A phone call, suggestion, a magic what if led the theater program to jump off a cliff. Figuratively speaking. We planned to portray the storm and drang under the arch. It'd be a new thing, rehearsals and fitting, magic and swords, memorization of lines by the hordes. Our stage is quite simple, some levels and posts that can serve for whatever is needed the most, to carry you hither and thither and yon. There is not but what's needed. The lights will stay on. The actors are ready, they've worked very hard. We hope that our play will please the dead bard, but you are the ones that are needed at last. Whether you know it, you're not in the cast. So give us your hands and give us your cheer. Lend us a hand, the tempest is near. It's time for your part. We need some good hands, and listen quite closely and follow commands. For a shipwreck is imminent. It's about to go down. But you'll be quite safe. There's no need to frown. So raise your hand if you're ready to help us, and everyone else you can, a great cheer. Hear ye, mateys all. Here these suaves will be commissioned thusly. You, sir and sir, will build the water gracefully up and down, and you, sir and sir, will do the same. Now lay to the task and show what you're made of. I was given this yesterday. So, you, the suaves, on the starboard side, when the side is raised high, give a good cheer. So, starboard side. And? Save us! When the sign be lifted, that's what you say. Down on the port side, you say east. We sing! We sing! Wait, we sing? We sing! You sing!
care of thee. Of him, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full 4 cell, and I no greater father.
More to know to never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand, pluck my magic garment from me. So lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art. So say to the order that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as a hair richer to any creature in the vessel which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sing. Sit down, for thou must know farther.
You have oft begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey, and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell?
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person?
'Tis rather like a dream than an assurance that my memory warrants. Have I not 4 or 5 women once attended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter, and thy father was Duke of Milan.
Oh, the heavens! What thoughts then have we that we came from thence? Or blessed was it we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou say'st, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hold hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds.
My brother, and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee, whom unto next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state. The government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Dost thou tend me?
Oh, aye, most heedfully, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. My false brother waits an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood. He being thus thwarted, not only with what my worth can yield, but what my power might thus exact to credit his own lie, he did believe. He was indeed the Duke. Hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, was pure deafness.
Have no screen between this part he played and him he played for. He needs will be absolute Milan.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, and tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wounds have borne bad sons.
Now, the condition. This king of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit. A treacherous army levied one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan. And at the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alas, for pity!
Hear a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now's upon us, without which the story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear they durst not, so dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rig nor tackle, sail nor mast. The very rats instinctively have quit it. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alas, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile and diffuse a fortune from heaven, when I had decked the sea with drops full salt under my golden throne.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had, and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, who then being appointed master of this design, did give us with rich garments, linen, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steaded much. So, of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man. And now I pray you, for 'tis still being in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
No, thus far forth, by accident most strange hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever after true. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness and get it wed. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant. Come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel. Come.
All hail, great master, brave Sir Hail! I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding, to carry, and all its quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed the point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the waist, now on the beak, the deck, in every cabin I played amazement. Sometimes I divided bread in many places. On the topmast, the yard, the bowsprit, what I played distinctly. Then meet and join Jove's lightning, the precursors of a dread thunderclap. More momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt a fever of the man and faced some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all fire with me. The king's son Ferdinand, with his hair upstaring thin like reeds, not fair, was the first man that leapt. Cried, hell is empty and all the devils are here.
That's my spirit, but was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before, and as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son I have landed by himself in an odd angle of the isle, there sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the king's ship, in the deep nook she's hid. The mariners, all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joint of their suffered labor, I left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, are now bound sadly home for Naples, supposing they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, Moody? Wouldst thou canst demand?
My liberty.
For the time be out. No more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served without or grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou hast, and think'st it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing.
Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop?
No,
Hast thou
sir.
forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgett'st. This damned witch Sycorax, thou know'st, was banished, For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and years left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant. Thou wast a spirit too delicate. Lo, she did confine me in a cloven pie. Imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there. For thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He that Caliban who now I keep in service. Thou best knowest from what torment I did free thee. A torment to lay upon them, which shipwrecks could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gate the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurst, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast held away 12 winters.
Pardon me, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spriting gently.
Do so. And, after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master! What shall I do? Say what shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, being visible to every eyeball else. Go take the shape and hither come in. Go, hands with diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake!
The strangeness of your story put a heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But, as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave! Caliban! Thou art thou! Speak!
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. Come thou, tortoise, when? Thou poisoned slave, not by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam. Come forth!
Wicked too as ever my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome pen drop on both of you and blister you all over.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps. Side stitches thou shalt tend thy breath up. Urchin shall for the bachelor men that they may work all exercise on me. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Shipwreck my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and made much of me, would give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the eye, the fresh springs, the brine pits, the barren place infertile. Cursed be I that did so, all the charms of sickracks, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects you have, which first was mine own king, and here you stay, in this hard rock, where you keep for me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, in strife, not kindness, I have used thee, built as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, which thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Would it had been done, thou didst prevent me. I'd had people else's isle of Caliban.
A poor slave, which any prince of goodness will not take, being capable of all ill, I pity thee. Took pains to make these things, taught thee each hour one thing or other.
You taught me language. My problem is I know how to curse. RePlays rid you from learning your language.
Exceed.
no more. Some god sitting on the island. This music, fret by me upon the waters, allayed both their fury and my passion with the sweet air. Thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. But 'tis gone.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange.
But he does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business. No one knows how the earth goes. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtain of thy eye advance, say what thou seest yon.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about, believe me. Sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No wench. It eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest is in the wreck, and but he's something stained with grief. That's beauty's canker. One might call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows, and strays about to find him.
I may call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever thought so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul props it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll breathe you within 2 days for this.
Most sure. God is on whom these earth attend. Vouchsafe my prayer, how I may bear me here. My parting quest which I do last pronounce it. Oh, wonder. If you be made or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly amazed.
Oh, heavens, my language. I am the best of them that speaks this speech, where I, the thwart, is spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the king of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, no wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and as he does, I with you. Myself in Naples, and with mine eyes, since I've ebbed, beheld the king, my father, wrecked.
Alas for mercy!
Yes, fit and all his lords, the Duke Milan and his brave son, being twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control the now 'twere fit to do it. At the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father be inclined my way.
Soft, sir, but one word more. They both are in either's powers, but the swift business I most uneasy make was too light winning make the prize light. One word more, I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord Aunt.
No, as I am a man.
Nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit hath so fair a house, the things will strive to dwell within it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks were in the acorn cradle. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment. My enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not to rash a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
What I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor. Who makes the show but dares not strike, thy conscience is so possessed of guilt. Come from thy ward. For I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
And say not of my garments.
Have pity. I'll be the surety.
Silence. One word more shall make me chide thee if not aid thee. What? Thou thinkst there are no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban? Foolish wench, to the most of men, This is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are the most humble. I've no ambition to see a lovelier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits I see in a dream all wound up. My father's loss and the weakness to which I feel. The wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are like to me. Might I, but through my prison once a day, behold this maiden. Somewhere else in the world, let liberty make use of. Spacing up, have I in such a prison?
It works! Come on, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what Rocio shall do me.
Be of comfort, sir. My father is of a better nature than you pierce by speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit.
As many vouch rarities are.
Is that our garments, being as it were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glossiness, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water. Methinks that our garments are as fresh when we first put them on in Tunis, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Clara, to the king of Tunis.
What impossible matter would he make easy next?
I think he'll take his island home in his pocket and give it to his son for an apple.
And, sowing the kernels of it into the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why think it?
It is foul weather us all, my lord. You are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I a plantation this isle, my lord,
He'd sow to nettle seed.
Or docks or models.
and were king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth I would by contraries execute all things, no kind of traffic would I admit. No name of magistrate, letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, need of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound to land, till, vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation. All men idle all, and women too, but innocent and pure. No sorrow.
Yet he'd be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce of their own, without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But Nature should bring forth its own kind, all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among whose subjects.
None, man, all idle, whores and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
Do you mark me?
I prithee spare, thou dost talk nothing to me.
Well, I believe your highness indeed to minister occasion these gentlemen were such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Well, Miss Mary fooling and nothing to you, so go ahead and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
And it had not fallen flat long.
Oh, you men are brave mental. You would let the moon out of her sphere if she continued 5 weeks without you.
We would, sir, and then go a bat folk.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warned you. I will not venture my discretion so weak. Will you not need to sleep? Well, I'm very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us. What? Also soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Sir, do not omit to have the opera. It seldom visits sorrow, and when it's offered is comforted.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Most wondrous heavy.
What strange drowsiness possesses them?
It is the quality of the climate.
Then, why doth it not our island sink? I find myself not disposed to sleep.
Nor I, my spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might? And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, my strong imaginations, as a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and it is surely a sleepy language, and thou speakest out of thy sleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lest thy fortunes sleep die rather, weakest whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too.
Well, I am standing in water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so.
If you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it.
Prithee, say on.
Although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory when he is earth, hath here almost persuaded, for he is a spirit to persuade, only professes to persuade the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he is undrowned.
Or so that no hope which great hope have you. No hope that weighs another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a link beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clara.
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from whom we all were sea swallowed.
What stuff is this? 'Tis true my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples. Twixt which regions there are some space.
How shall that Caliban measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death, then thou hast seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be lords that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can freight as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo, I myself can make a chop of that steep chat. Oh, that you all in mind that I too were asleep was this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I do remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me. My brother's servants within my fellows. Now they are my men. But for your conscience. Aye, sir. Where lies that? Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now is light, that's dead. Whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever, whiles you, doing us to the perpetual wind cry. I put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. To all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gott'st Milan, I'll come by Naples. Come, draw thy sword. One stroke shall set thee free from the tributes which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall on Gonzalo.
But one word.
My master, through his artifice, sees the danger that you and his friend are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy this time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake! Awake!
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king!
Whoa! Whoa now! Why are you drawn? What for this ghastly looking?
Oh, whilst we stood here securing your repose, we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bolts or rather lions. Didst not wake you and struck mine ears most tenderly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, it was a din to fright a monster's ears to make an earthquake. Sure 'twas the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked thee, sir, and cried out to my eyes open. I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise. That's verily, 'tis best that we stand upon our guard, and that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead on this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heaven keep him from these beasts, for he is sure an island.
Lead off.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
Holy infections that the sun sucks up from balls, fins, plaques on Prospero. If I answer, you don't make him a disease. The spirits hear me, and yet I need must curse. But they will nor pinch, nor frighten me with urchin shows, nor leave me like fire in the dark, out of their way, unless he bid them. But for every trifle are they set upon me. Lo, now lo, here comes the spirit of his that torments me, for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat, perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor stroke to bear up any weather at all. Should it thunder as it did before, I know where not to hide my head. Yon cloud cannot choose but to fall by the pailful. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish, a very ancient fish-like smell. Kind of the news for John. A strange fish, were I in England now, there this monster would make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man, legged like a man, then like arms. Warm, oh my troth, I do let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer, this is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way to sleep underneath his gabardine. There's no other shelter here about. Misery equates a man with strange bedfellows. I'll here shroud till the dread storm be past.
I shall no more to sea, here shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Moll, Meg, Marian, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had her tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, and if tailor might scratch her where'er she did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too. Here's my comfort.
Do not torment me.
got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him summer leave, if it be but for that. If I can recover him, and keep him tame, and get to Naples with him, he is a present for any emperor.
Do not torment me, I prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He is in his fit now, and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine before, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him, and keep him tame.
Thou dost me yet a little hurt. Thou wilt anon. I know it by thy trembling. Prosper worse upon thee.
Come on your ways, open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth, this will shake your shaking. I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice, but he's drowned. And these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices? A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to retract. If all the wine in my bottle can recover him, I will help his ague. Come, amen, I'll pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano?
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him.
If thou be a Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs, for if any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this mooncap? Can he beg Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke, but hast thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope thou was not drowned. I hid me under the dead mooncap's gabardine in fear of the storm. The storm overtook me? Oh, Stefano, 2 Neapolitans escaped.
Prithee, do not turn me about. The stomach is not constant.
These be fine things. And if they not be sprites, that's a brave god and bear celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear to me how thou escaped. I escaped upon a butter sack, which the sailors should overboard. By this bottle which I made from the bark of a tree, with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Swear to me how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck? I'll be sworn.
Kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
How do you know this, Stefano?
Old bud, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. Come out, mooncap. How is thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her. I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Here, swear to that. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear.
By this light, this is a very shallow monster. I have fear of him, a very weak monster. The man at the moon, a most poor and credulous monster. Well-drawn monster and good suit.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island. I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
This is a drunken monster, perfidious monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his body.
I'll swear myself thy subject. I'll kiss thy foot.
Come on then, down and swear.
I shall allow myself the death of this puppy-headed monster. I could find in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But the poor monster's in drink in a bottle, monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee. I'll get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sins. But follow thee, thou wondrous man.
This is a ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I pray, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I, with my long nails, will dig thee pig nuts, and show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset, and bring thee clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scamels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way, without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company else be drowned, we shall inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell! Farewell!
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll dig for fish, nor fetch inspiring at requiring. Oh, nor great treachery, nor wash dish. Man, Caliban has a new master. Get a new man. Freedom, I day freedom, freedom, I day freedom.
some sports are painful, though labor delighted themselves on. Some kind of baseness are nobly undergone, but most poor maxims point to rich ends. This, my main task, will be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and brings my labor's pleasures. She is 10 times more gentle than her father's craft, and he's composed her harshly. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up on a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says such baseness never had like executor. I forget what these sweet thoughts do if you refresh my labor. Most busy, at least when I do it. No, dear mistress, the sun was set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bury your logs a while. Pray give me that, I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than should use such dishonor undergo while I sit busy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it and yours is his.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. This fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I not study my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh dear father, if Rocio has to say so.
My Miranda. Most dearest in the world. For men of lady have I the best regard but you. You. So perfect. So peerless are created of every creature's best.
I know not one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass to my nose. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. Some features are abroad I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my door, I would not wish any hidden in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to light of. But I prattle something too wildly, my father's precepts I daring do forget.
I am, in my condition, a prince, Miranda. I do think a king would not so. Hear my soul speak. The very instinct that I saw to dip my heart to fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it. For your sake am I this patient lawman.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to the sound which I crown with. I to defend if I speak true. If hollowly, averts what has best voted me to mischief. For all limits else the world, I do love, prize, and honor you.
I'm a fool to leave it what I am glad of.
There encounter two most rare affections. Heaven's rain grace on that bridge between them.
Wherefore weep you?
And mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give. I must take that I shall die to want. But this is trifling. And all the more it takes had itself, the bigger book it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and call me plain and wholly innocent. I am your wife if you will have me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will it or no. now, farewell, till half an hour ahead.
1,000,000. So glad of this day I cannot be, you are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll tune my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
Tell me not. When the blood is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore, bear up and boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this isle. They say that there's but 5 on this island, and we be 3 of them. The other 2 be brain like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set to thy head.
Where should they be set else? He'd be a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues, off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant? If you list, he's no standard.
We'll not run, monsieur monster.
Nor go neither. Yet you'll lie like dogs and say nothing neither?
Mooncat, speak once in thy life, if thou beest a good mooncat.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I will not serve him. He is not valiant.
Thou liest, why? Thou debauched fish? Hath a coward ever drink as much sack as I today? Will you tell a monstrous lie, being but half fish and half monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster be such a natural.
Lo, again, bite to death, I prithee.
Tranquilo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster is my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank you, my noble lord. Wilt thou hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry will I, kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Tranquilo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to the tyrant, sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of this island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Tranquilo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
Then, and no more. Proceed.
As I said, by sorcery he got this island. From me he got it. If thy greatness shall revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this name dare not.
That's most certain.
And thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I shall yield him the estate, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pie ninny's this, thou scurvy catch! I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle from him. When that is gone, he shall drink not but brine, for I'll not show him what quick pressures are.
Tranquilo. Run into no further danger. Interrupt this monster one word further. By this hand, I will throw mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? I said nothing. I'll go further off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Do I so? Take thou that. As you like it, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out on your wits and hearing too. A pox on your bottle. This can distract and drinking do. A murrain on your monster. The devil take your fingers.
Now, further with me. Prithee, stand farther on.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Stand farther. Come, proceed.
As I said, it is a custom for him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him. Remember having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or puncture him with thy stick, or cut his wizan with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he is but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as brutally as I. Consider the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman but only Sycorax my damned is she. For she is far surpassed as Sycorax, as grace does least.
So, little lass.
Aye, my lord. She will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen. Save our graces. And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I'm sorry. While thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
He will be asleep within this half hour. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on my honor.
This I will tell my master.
Makes me merry. I'm full of pleasure. Let us be charmed. Wilt thou troll the casket talking but a while here?
At thy request, monster, I will do reason, any reason. Come, Trinculo, let us sing.
Scout him and flout him and flout him and scout him. Thought is free.
That's not the tune.
What is this sing?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest the devil, take as thy list.
Oh, forgive me my sins!
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not feared. This island is full of strange sounds and noises and sweet airs that give delight. Or not?
This will prove a great kingdom to me, for I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The music's going off. Let's follow it and do our work after.
Be monster, we'll follow. I would I could see this taborer. He lays it on.
Wilt come? I'll follow Savannah.
Fire Lakin! I can go no further, sir. These old bones ache. This here's a maze trod indeed. I needs must rest me.
Old Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness. To the dulling of my spirits, sit down and rest.
Do not, for one repulse, forego the purpose that you resolve to effect.
The next advantage you will take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed for travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What music is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous, sweet music.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils.
You fools! The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds. My fellow ministers are likely vulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massive for your strengths and will not be uplifted.
My charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power, and in these fits I leave them while I visit young Ferdinand to face opposed as drowned.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous! Monstrous! Methought the bells spoke and told me on it, that my son, the ooze, is bedded, and I shall seek him deeper than e'er plummeted sound, and with him lie there mudded.
But one feed at a time, I'll fight these legions over.
I'll be thy second.
I'll follow.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. All thy vexations were but trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here, before heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her. I do believe it. Then, as my gift, and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy right be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so
Horatio and no like. With such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den and the most opportune. Oh, Christ, shall never melt my honor into lust to take away the edge of that day's celebration.
Barely spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What Ariel, my industrious servant Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Don't bring the rabble, or whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some commandment of my mother's. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently.
Twink.
Before you can say come and go and breathe twice and cry so-so. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel. Do not approach without else to be called.
Well, I can see.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire of blood. Be more abstemious, or else good not your vow. I warn you, sir. White coat, snow, on my virgin heart beats the ardor of my Well, now come, my Ariel, appear, and Berkeley, no tongue, all eyes, be silent. I forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come.
This is strange. Your father's in some passion. That works him strongly.
Never before this day fly him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind. We wish your peace. Come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Please, to what's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir. They were red hot with drinking. So full of valor they smoked the air, for breathing in their faces beat the ground, for kissing of their feet, but always bending towards their project. At last they left them in a filthy mental pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul leg or stunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house. Go bring it hither for sale to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil. A born devil, on whose nurture can never stick. On whom my pains, humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, evil to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
Pray talk, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell.
Monster, you're fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has been little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, in which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? I should take it as pleasure against you. Look, you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good, my lord. Give me thy favor still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly, all's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool?
There's not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss.
This means more to me than my wedding, and this is your harmless fairy monster?
I will fetch off my bottle, though I be 4 years for my labor.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? It is the mouth of the cell. No noise and enter. Do thy good mischief, and make this island thy own for forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy foot's liquor.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, Stefano! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look at the wardrobe I have for thee!
Let it alone, my lord, is but trash.
Oh, ho! We know what belongs to Pippery. Oh, worthy Stefano!
Put off that gown, Trinquilo. By this hand, I'll have it.
Thy grace shall have it.
The draughty drowns, fool. What do you mean to do this on such luggage? Do thy murder first, or he'll fill our skins with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin?
Do, we still by line and level, and like your grace.
I thank thee for that jest. Here's a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steel by line and level is an excellent pass of hate. There's another garment for it.
Monster, come, put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
Oh, have none. We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles, or to apes with portents villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers. Help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is hid, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to, carry this.
And this.
Aye. And this.
Go charge my goblins with the grind your joints with jive potions. Choke up the sinews with age cramps, and your apes ought to make them in par or catamountain.
Hark they roar!
Soundly.
At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air of freedom. For a little, follow and do me service. How does my project gather to a head? My charms crept not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with this carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, sir, you said our work should cease.
I did say so at first I raised the tempest. Say, spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge. Just as you left them all prisoners, sir. None can budge till your release. Yet, him you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalez. His tears run through his beard like winter's drops from eaves of breeze. Your charms so strongly work so that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
Mine shall. Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend, not to frown further. Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Am I so potent art, this rough magic, I here abjure. And when I have acquired some heavenly music, which e'en now I do, to work mine end upon their senses, that this airy charm is for, I'll break my stab, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound. I'll drown my book. Stand for you, our spell stopped! Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes even sociable to the show of thine fall fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness. So their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clear reason. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver, and a loyal sir to him thou followest. I will pay thy graces home, both in word and deed. Pinch for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You, brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would have here killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell. The approaching tide that now fills the reasonable shore, that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me, or would know me. Ariel, fetch my hat and rapier from my cell. I will escape me, and myself present, as I was sometime alive. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free. Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, though thou shalt have freedom. So. To the kingship, invisible as thou art, there thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches, and the master and the boatswain being awake, and force them to this place. Presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me and return, or ere your pulse twice beat.
Ah, torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us from this beautiful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that the living prince does not speak to thee, I embrace thy body, and to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou beest here or no, or some enchanted trifle to accuse me, as late I've been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind laments, with which I fear a madness held me. This must crave, and be this all a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat, pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle, but not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I could here pluck his highness frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No! For you, most wicked sir, I do forgive thy rancorous faults, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, 3 hours since we were wrecked upon this shore, and I have lost how sharp this point of remembrances. My dear son, Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose soft grace, for the like loss, I have her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You the like loss?
To make the dear loss, have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh heavens, that they were both living in Naples, the king and queen there, that they were. And I wish myself mudded in that oozy bed. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest, I perceive these lords scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Howsoever you justled from your senses, know that I am Prospero, and that very duke that was thrust forth of Milan, who, most strangely, upon this shore where you were wrecked, was landed to be the Lord Ond. Welcome, sir. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you as good a thing, or at least bring forth a wonder content ye as much as me, my dukedom.
Sweet Lord, your plain fault.
Oh, dear love, I would not. The world.
Yes, gracious rental of thwart, and I will call it fair play.
Be this the vision of the island? Oh, one year's sun should I twice lose.
A most high miracle indeed.
Though the seas threaten, they're
Merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
now the blessings with land well that can ask thee about. Say how thou camest here.
Oh, the wonder! How many goodly creatures there are here! How beauteous mankind is! How brave the world that has such people in it!
'Tis due to thee. Who is this maiden with whom thou wast at play? Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal. But by a word of providence, she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice. For I thought I had one. She is daughter to his famous Duke of Milan, of whom I have so often heard renowned, but never seen before. Of whom I have received a second life. And a second father this lady makes him to me.
I'm hers.
I have inly wept and should have spoken in it. Look down, ye blessed gods, and upon this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you who have chalked forth the way that have brought us hither.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become the kings of Naples? Rejoice beyond the common joy, and set down in gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Caliban, her husband, find in Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, find a wife when he himself was lost. Prospero, his dukedom, in a poor isle, and all of us ourselves when no man was his own.
Come, give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Masters, that we have found our prince. The ship is tight to the yard and bravely rigged as when we first set off to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit. This is as strange a maze as e'er man trod, and there was more in this business than nature was ever convict of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge. Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of these businesses, which to you shall seem to be these happened accidents. Till then, be cheerful and think each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? You're yet missing some of your company, some of you old lads that you remember not.
Every man shift for all the rest, let no man to care for himself. For all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, this is a goodly sight.
Posterus, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What be these things, my lord Antonio? Well, Bunny by them. Very like. One of them is a plain fish and no doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, and say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother, was a witch. These three have robbed me. Two of these men you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
Shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now, but where had he wine?
And Tranquillo is reeling ripe. Where have they found this grand liquor that hath gilded them? Come, say how thou camest in this pickle.
I've been in such a pickle since I saw you last. Fear me out, and I will not fear by blow.
Why, how now then, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cramp.
You'd be king of the Isles, Sirrah.
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er man looked upon.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, Sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions, as you look to have my pardon. Trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And be wise hereafter and seek for grace. For the thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to, away, hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor self this one night, and in the morn I shall take you to your ship, and thence to Naples, where I have hope to see the nuptial of these our dear beloved solemnized, and thence retire me in my Milan.
I long to hear the story of your life. Though it must take the year strangely,
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch a royal fleet far off. My Ariel, chick, that is thy charge. Then, to the elements, be free. Fare thou well. Please you, draw near. Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And, like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve. And, like this insubstantial pageant created, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made of, and our little life is rounded with sleep. Now, my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have is mine own. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgences set me free. Now, release me from my bands with the help of your good hands.
Now, it was really fun to design that show for outside, but then when we brought it in, we lost all of the verticality to it. And that was one of the moments that was like, but we were able to bring everything in, and we had to like put grass where we needed it and things that we needed. But re-blocking some of those scenes were so difficult because we had simultaneous action happening and it was flat instead of in an air. But it came out okay, and the kids did a really, really fun job with it. And the audiences really had a good time because it's one of those shows that you can actually really kind of get your head wrapped around. It's not real deep.
Yeah.
So
I want to, deep, that's funny. I want to point out though, that opening bit that you did with the fabric to create the water and the ship sinking was almost like puppetry in a lot of ways. And I can remember Tara Smith, who played Ariel. She was a ballerina, and she just brought this just joy of movement, and it was just so beautiful.
The other thing that we did is we had two musicians that alternated back and forth playing as they wished or wanted to illustrate the scene, which was something that a lot of people didn't know, that it was basically free-form music for them to basically decide and make up on the spot. So there was a lot of improvisational kind of a feel to it, but it was also something that the kids could really get a hold of, which was kind of fun.
One thing I bet nobody knows is that most of the uniforms for those soldiers were actually old BVU marching band uniforms, sort of taken apart and put back together.
Repurpose them, yeah. That's definitely there.
Yeah. Oh, we hope you enjoyed BVU's 2017 production of The Tempest. Thank you to our wonderful alumni who submitted monologues and memories of their time in the program. Thank you to all who've supported our program over the years. And finally, thank you to those who are helping celebrate BVU Theater by tuning into this series.
See you next time on BVU Theater Remembers the Wit and Wisdom of Shakespeare and Replay. Thanks for being with us.